Hi, good morning, everybody. I hope you're well today. I hope everyone's had a good night's sleep. And it's a Thursday, so there's the Thursday group today at 10:30. We're coming to another, towards the end of another week in recovery. And now's always a good time to start reflecting on what's come up for me this week. What's happened this week? How did I react to it? What changes have there been, for good and for ill? What challenges there going to be? And maybe you can write some of these things down or have a think about them. But it's always good to reflect. But the thing that I wanted to talk about this morning was it's a principle of Buddhism, in fact. And it's the principle of not taking the ungiven. Okay? And this applies to how we respond to other people. Other people's energy, other people's time, other people's attention, other people's emotion. An example of taking the ungiven would be if you know really that somebody hasn't got lots and lots of time to listen to you talk about your problems, but you feel you're able to kind of oblige them or use guilt or passive aggression or whatever. You know, these little manipulative ploys that alcoholics and addicts use all the time to get them to spend time that they can't really afford to spend with you. Or, you know, as an addict, I spent many years honing my skills of getting money out of people, encouraging people to lend or give me money when they could ill afford to. Or I would need people to come to the pub and drink with me when it wasn't in their interests to do so. Taking the ungiven is asking of people that which they really are reluctant to give, but finding ways to subtly nudge them towards giving you what you want anyway. And one of the great sins, really, one of the great sins of my addiction was to take the ungiven. And it's something we've really got to watch out for in recovery, because we're surrounded as recovering addicts by both rescuers and victims. People that are desperate to find the expression of themselves through saving others, where really they should be gently guided back to focusing on their own issues. And we're surrounded by victims, people who are enmeshed in the illusion that they are needy. And I say illusion because they believe about themselves, victims, people in a victim place, believe about themselves all sorts of things that are basically untrue. I can't do life, I can't seem to function, I can't be happy, I can't this, I can't that, I just don't know how. So maybe at this point you don't know how, but the idea that it's not possible, there's never any truth in that. So when victims and rescuers find themselves in close proximity to one another, they do a kind of a curious thing. The victim will send out little coded messages, using verbal language, using body language, using every trick in the book to find the nearest rescuer. It's almost like they're firing a distress flare into the night, and a rescuer will happen by, and the rescuer gets terrifically animated by this new quest. And the upshot is that nobody gets rescued. The victim and the rescuer both become harmed in the process. And there's a fine line to walk here. Nobody would advocate in recovery becoming unkind or uncaring or unfeeling. That's not the point. But often when we look at people in victimhood, we have to ask ourselves, is this person now requiring me to do the sorts of things that they really need to be doing for themselves? And if they haven't done these things for themselves before in life, one of the opportunities in recovery is to learn how, to learn to become a fully independent adult human being, stand on one's own 2 feet, to be able to stop going through the same old cycle of behaviour. And here in recovery, we're all about breaking the cycle, really, aren't we? So this week, or in the next 7 days, perhaps look at where we all have that tendency to take the ungiven. And it's something that people do from time to time, unfortunately. And in addiction, most people, perhaps all addicts, have been huge drainers of other people's time and energy, taking the ungiven. Anyway, food for thought. So I'll see everybody hopefully at 10:30 this morning, and we'll have a great group, and I hope you guys are having a great morning so far. Take care. All the best. Bye-bye.